Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, Adam, it is tech wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
Okay, so to explain my tech wreck, I'm going to have to tell you a story first. So last week,
it's a tech wreck and a story.
Yeah, it's a tech wreck and a story. So about a month and a half ago, one of my oldest friends texted me and he said, "Hey, random question. Would you be interested in flying to California and driving with me from California back to Atlanta?" Of course, my answer was absolutely, name the time. So that's what I did last week. I flew to California and we drove from Orange County, California, all the way back to Atlanta. We dropped by the Grand Canyon on the way. Well, this happens to be one of my oldest friends. And I decided that as a part of this road trip, I needed to create a bunch of AI generated songs about things that happened during our childhood. So I created songs like the classic Skylark on Fire, which was about the time that his Skylark caught on fire in our neighborhood and burned up in flames 15 foot high. Or the other classic story where we put his brother in the freezer. Now, he was only in the freezer for like 10 seconds, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But the story is told often and with very, very dramatic traumatization. So all that to say is I created 7 AI generated songs. I paid for the rights to the songs all through Suno.com. I paid the pro plan, so I had the rights to the songs. Then I used my tech rec for this week, which is DistroKid. And I used DistroKid to distribute the songs across all platforms. So you can go and look up the band Flint 32 on every single platform spot. And by the way, that's also happens to be related. I won't tell you where, but related to his original street address where we lived. And so the band is Flint 32. If you go to Spotify and look for Flint 32, the album is Road Trip. You can find my distributed songs on Spotify. They're there for everybody to consume because of DistroKid, which is my tech break for the day. So, sorry. And then as a part of this whole thing, I took these songs and I dripped them or sprinkled them into a playlist that was about 9 hours long for our road trip. And we listened to the playlist, including those songs, and he was none the wiser because, who really listens to lyrics anyway? And so eventually I was like, hey, you got to listen to the lyrics of this song. And I played it and he's like, wait, what is going on? And then I explained it to him and he thought it was amazing. So his favorite of my songs was the time that I was performing his wedding. So I was like kind of the minister guy that was performing the ceremony for his wedding. And that morning I had accidentally shaved off one of my eyebrows. So the name of that song is called One Brow Wedding. And it's in a boy band style. So if you want to look up One Brow Wedding is a good song. You'll enjoy it. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. I think it's on TikTok. I mean, it's everywhere. It's great.
Okay. So, I got to understand. How did you manage to accidentally shave off one eyebrow?
I put on the beard, I'm using the beard trimmer. And, you think the guard's on the beard trimmer and you go to trim your eyebrows and somehow the guard wasn't on the beard trimmer. And I just zip, and it was just gone. So, that did happen.
I'm going to need to see photos of this wedding later.
There are no photos that are close up enough for you to know the difference. Cause I used an eyebrow pencil and we penciled it in, and my wife did a great artistry job. And it was fun, so.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I totally wanted you to be a one eyebrow minister.
Yeah. So,
I think that's actually your new domain name. One eyebrow minister.
One brow wedding minister. One brow wedding. So I'll tell you, Flint 32, the album is Road Trip. Go look it up. It's amazing.
How many cents or dollars have you made in royalties?
I have not looked, but I'm going to go with probably 0. But, we enjoyed the album several times over on the trip. So,
does DistroKid get like those royalties for you? And then,
I think they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. And then you get like it piled and you can connect your bank account to it and all that stuff. I mean, if there ever were royalties, which I'm sure there will not be.
It's all about you taking off on TikTok. If that happens, you'll get
that's true.
Dozens of dollars.
There are some of them were pretty catchy. I'm not going to lie. And I will say this too. Like, so, I used Suno.com to create the website, the songs, and you put in a 200 character description, just 200 characters of what, here's the story, do it in this style. And some of the lyrics are just shockingly good. I mean, just like, for example, there was a song where we might have coaxed his little brother into peeing in the middle of the street during the summer because, why would you not do that? And, there's like this lyric about like something about, in the street where the pavement meets his feet, there's a tiny river that runs free. I mean, it's like, what? Like, what? Like, the lyrics are brilliant. And it's like all AI generated. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. So yeah. Anyway,
I think you might have another career as a musician.
Oh my gosh, it can happen.
Songwriter, something. Yeah.
All right, Sanjay, what's your tech rec for us?
My tech rec is a lot less fun, but maybe a little bit more useful. It's otter.ai. So OTTER.ai.
Okay.
The link in the show notes, by the way, is a referral link. You can get it 1 month of pro or something for free. But basically what this tool does is it records meetings for you and gives you a transcript of who said what in the meeting, as well as, and this is the important part, a summary of what's going on in that meeting, as well as action items. I have been using this and I love it. This thing will join your video meetings. So Zoom meetings, Google Meet, Teams, whatever. You can turn it on your phone when you're in a meeting. And I have now been going into meetings not worried about recording what's happening or taking notes or anything else like that, because I'm like, I got it. Like the thing is going to tell me later.
All set,
and then I'm going to review what action items there are. Now, I'll tell you, it's not 100%. Sometimes the summaries are like, that's not what we talked about. But by and large, it is pretty close. It is good enough. You know, if I'm going to compare me taking the action items and the notes in the meeting versus it,
good enough.
It's doing at least as good a job as me and probably a little bit better. Now, so
have I told you what I do when those bots join a meeting and I'm the first one in there?
Of course you have, because it's the same thing as just the prank playlist thing that you just did there. Because you're just a jokester.
I mean, I'll just if I'm in a meeting and your Otter AI jumps in and nobody else is there, all I'll be like, Sanjay loves unicorns. 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 Sanjay loves. And I'll just say it over and over again for like the longest time. And then like the first meeting item is Sanjay loves unicorns. I'm like, yeah, he does. He sure does. He loves those unicorns.
I mean, that's true. So I don't know why that's a prank, but
it's just funny. It's just, that's all it is. It's just funny. I mean, everybody loves unicorns. Come on. What kind of monster do you think we are? But it's just funny. So, anyway,
I went to Barnum and Bailey's circus once because they had a unicorn. And it was not a unicorn.
It was not a unicorn.
It was a horse. It was a horse with a horn attached to it.
Yeah, sad.
That's what it was.
That's an unhappy horse. Sad.